Today I'm going to show you the basics of Tunisian crochet. I'm going to go over how to cast on your stitches and do the Tunisian Simple Stitch and then bind off at the end. Tunisian crochet rows consist of a forward pass where we pick up our stitches onto our hook, and then a return pass where we work off those stitches. That will make sense once we get going. So you're going to need a Tunisian crochet hook. Let me zoom out a little bit here. This is part of an interchangeable set by Knitter's Pride that I have. There's also, of course I can't find mine because my daughter likes to play with it, but there's also just like long straight hooks, so without the cord it would just be, it would like be this long. With Tunisian crochet, much like knitting, your project size is going to be limited to how long your hook is. That's why I like these longer ones, so you can work on things like blankets and shawls and things like that. For today's tutorial, I am just actually using a regular crochet hook. This is a Knitter's Pride crochet hook. This works well for like a swatch, but as you can see, it is not very wide, so even something like this dishcloth would not fit on this. And I'm using some worsted weight yarn. This is Bernat Super Value. And also I should mention that when you are picking a hook size for your project, make sure that you're grabbing a hook that is 1 to 2 millimeters bigger than the size recommended on your yarn label. So I'm using a 6.5 millimeter hook with this worsted weight yarn, which I'm pretty sure calls for a 5 millimeter on the label. So let's go ahead and start, and let's make a chain of 12. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So there's our chain. For our first foundation row, we are going to go along this row and pick up stitches. So starting in the second chain from your hook, insert it into the back bump of the chain, yarn over, pull up a loop. Move to the next chain, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. And you're just going to do that all the way across. If you're looking for some more Tunisian crochet tips, I have a blog post all written out for you, and that will be linked in the description box below. So we're just going to go all the way down our chain and pick up these stitches. Alright, so that was our forward pass, and now we are going to make our return pass. So yarn over, pull through one loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and you're just going to repeat that all the way back across. That yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. This setup row, this foundation row, will be pretty much the same for any stitch that you work. And then final 2. All right, let's move on to our next row. I'm going to be showing you how to work the simple stitch. So this loop on your hook counts as a stitch. So we are going to skip this one and insert our hook underneath this front bar. If you look close, see there's this front bar here and a back bar there. We want to insert our hook from right to left under that front bar. Like that. Yarn over and then pull up a loop. And you're going to do that all the way across. You're going to insert your hook under the next bar, yarn over, and pull up a loop. So here's our next bar. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. Insert it under the bar, yarn over, pull up a loop. Try not to work your stitches super tight. And then when you get to the last stitch, instead of going under the bar, I want you to look and I want you to insert your hook under this bar and this bar. So sort of like through the V right there. Let's look at it again. So if you look, there's a space right here and you're gonna go under the front bar and this one. Yarn over and pull up a loop. That's going to give you a nice clean edge. No matter what stitch that you're working, I recommend always doing the last stitch like that. Alright, so now we have put all of our stitches onto our hook. Now we have to work them back off again. So our return pass is going to be the same as before. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way across. And that's how you do the Tunisian Simple Stitch. Your next row will just be picking up stitches again, starting in that second bar. I'm going to do a couple more rows and then I'll show you how to bind off. See how it's curling up like that? That is completely normal. It's just kind of the nature of the stitch. Some of the Tunisian stitches do this less. This one curls quite a bit. If you're making a project, what you can do is when you're done, pin it out and then block it, and that will help. I did notice when I was making this dishcloth pattern, since cotton seems to be a little bit heavier, I don't hardly have any curl here, just a little bit. And since it's a dishcloth, I don't know as it matters that much. Alright, now I'm going to show you how to bind off your stitches. So you bind off on a forward pass. Oh, there's the infamous bird clock. Alright, so we're going to bind off, and you always bind off on a forward pass. So insert your hook under the second bar. Not this one, because it's literally impossible. But under the second bar. And then you're going to pull up a loop and pull it through the loop on your hook. Okay, let's do that again. So insert your hook under the next bar, and then pull up a loop and pull through the loop on your hook. And again, make sure you're not working these too tight. It'll increase the curling, and it will probably hurt your hands too.
I'm hungry.
No, and do not touch my table, you're wiggling it. And then when you get to the last stitch, go under those 2 bars, pull up a loop, and pull through the one on your hook. And that's it. You should have a nice edge on all of your edges. And remember, curling is normal. If you would like to practice your Tunisian Simple Stitch, I will have a link in the description box below for this dishcloth pattern. You'll just need some worsted weight cotton yarn and a 6.5mm Tunisian crochet hook. Next week I'll have some more Tunisian crochet stitches for us to learn, as well as some dishcloth patterns to go with them. I figured dishcloths would be a nice, easy, practical thing for us to practice our new stitches on. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.